All right, welcome to Ready Bet Action. We are talking round 1, day 2. So all of these games are happening this Friday. So, make sure to get all your bets in. Make sure to go listen to the round 1, day 1 episode from earlier and get all our picks for that. But this is awesome. Friday, man. No one's working on Friday. Are you all actually going to try to work on Friday? Wink if you don't want your boss to know, but you're also going to just kind of, there we go.
Yes.
I'll
be working diligently.
I fly back home Thursday night, so I'll get a little bit of work done in the morning. That's probably about it.
Okay, I love it. Well, we got a lot of games to get through, so I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to start walking you through the Thursday or the Friday slate. Going to get that wrong. I'm going to go ahead and start us off with St. Mary's. St. Mary's, this line's moved a little bit. They are 3.5 point favorites. And I think that they are a team that, let me pull up my notes here, that are essentially better than Gonzaga coming out of the West Coast Conference this year, which we haven't seen in a while. They're playing another team that you'll hear me talk a lot of shit about, SEC teams with a losing conference record, with Vandy. Vandy doesn't do anything particularly well offensively or defensively. St. Mary's is very good on defense and definitely the best team out of that West Coast Conference. I like St. Mary's to win this straight up. I think in my futures, I have them as a sprinkle to go to the Sweet 16. So yeah, that's me on St. Mary's. Someone else here got St. Mary's pick though.
Yep. They're a top 60 KenPom team. They are extremely good rebounding the ball. They play great defense. I like them an awful lot against a Vandy team that you hate. You got my attention about this pick when we were doing our futures episode. And so it was one that I wanted to look into so that I could fight you tonight because I watched Vanderbilt win a game earlier last week.
Yeah.
And they looked really good at it. And that's the only time I watched Vanderbilt all year.
I'm on board.
But I couldn't do it. I also have St. Mary's. I have them as part of a moneyline parlay.
Yep.
So
all
I'm
right.
taking them to win.
Mike, why don't you take us to your pick, either a leg or some kind of pick you have for Friday?
Yeah, I teased it a little bit on the first round show, first half unders. I'm gonna go to the Arizona Akron game, first half under 79.5, minus 115. First half unders, they've been big at times. You've got two teams coming into an arena that's 10 times the size they're not used to against the team they're completely unfamiliar with. And so it just it takes them a minute to get going, but then you've got free throws and fouls that can push it over in the second half. So total for this game's at 166. Arizona has only hit that total in 9 games all season. They've lost 3 of the last 4 on the road and 4-7 against the spread in the last 7. To me, that says it's a team that's coming in struggling. You put them in a new environment, they could be very slow to get going. Akron's not going to hit this by themselves. So I think it's a good recipe here for it. First half under minus or under 79.5.
Yeah, man. Akron is an upset pick that I don't hate. I'm not going to bet them to win, but in my bracket I did because, I'll take I'll take it because I don't think Arizona's going far in this tournament. So my bracket I took Akron. However, I am betting Akron 13.5. This is a wildly large number in my opinion for how good Akron's offense is. There's a reason this over is so high. Arizona's defense is not something to write home about this year. They can be, like they have been in recent years, but this is not the year for that. So, even if Akron can't win this game, 13.5 points just felt way too high to me. So I'm going with Akron to cover, not Akron to win on the show necessarily. Save that for your office pool bracket where it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Stefan, why don't you give it your next pick?
So I like that. So I am going to go back. So I said I was taking St. Mary's to win. I'm going to combine that with this play here that I really don't like. Baylor plays first tip, Mississippi State. I just don't buy Mississippi State.
I get it.
I like Baylor. Some of the numbers that I look at, like some of the simulations that I don't run, but some friends of mine run, I compiled a bunch of their numbers, and the numbers just off. Baylor, I think the wrong team is favored here. So to me, getting them all
Good
the way at
coach,
plus
too.
8.5 just feels like it's a huge. It just gives me a lot of space for them to screw up. So again, not taking them to win, not even taking them. I'm teasing it to plus 8.5 and combining it with St. Mary's. And you get that at minus 106.
I like it only because apparently I'm very cynical of like the mid to lower SEC teams in this tournament. But man, you got Scott Drew. That dude has been in the tournament and won a lot of tournament games. Like,
Yep.
I'll say it again, man. Give me the team with like the better coach, like in these closer to even matches. I'll take that experienced tournament coach who's better. Absolutely. All right, Mike, why don't you take us to what you got next?
I'm gonna go with a spicy one. I'm taking Lipscomb plus 14.5
Lipscomb, dang,
versus
all right.
Iowa State. I know you were kind of hot on them at points in the time this season, Eric.
Love it.
Iowa State, their leading scorer, Keyshawn Gilbert, he's out for the tourney. And he's their second leading scorer. Their leading scorer, Timon Lipsey, groin injury in the Big 12 tournament, and he's questionable to play on Friday. Even if he does play, I just think this is a perfect situation where they kind of ease him back into the lineup. They figure out how to get the win without overpowering him too much and try and get him more and more healthy for the next round. So 14.5, it's a big number to play with your best players down. Lipscomb was 24th in offensive efficiency across the NCAA this year and 62 defensively of 364 teams. So they statistically match up fairly well on this as well. So I just like him to keep it close with the two big injuries.
That's great. I love that. I don't know if I've heard a lot of other folks having a Lipscomb take on any like show or any like, but you're right. Like that is
spicy.
It is spicy. It's a big number. I think that's great. I'm going to take us over to Maryland. Maryland is a really, really good team coming into this tournament. They are a 10.5 point favorite. So I am pairing them with that St. Mary's pick because St. Mary's are much lesser favorites. And we're still going to get that at minus 123. Honestly, they're super hot. I think Maryland's going to the Elite Eight, so I just like them to win. And I'm just not going to bet against the team that their starting five is nicknamed the Crab Five. So that's all I got, man. Like you are making a Crab Maryland Fab Five combo reference. I won't bet against you. So give me Maryland. I don't think anyone else is on Maryland though, right? I think it's just me.
Want it to be. I like how you're playing it. I lost money on them against Michigan earlier. Well, last week, Big Ten tournament. So that was disappointing. So I was a little gun shy going into this weekend.
Makes sense. All right, Stefan, why don't you hit us with your next one?
325. That's the number I'm going to give you. That's where Oklahoma ranks in rebounding. Their tallest dude is 6'6", and he hasn't played in weeks. They're playing UConn. Back-to-back champs. UConn
Dude,
Huskies.
Absolutely.
I'm taking them on the money line because you can get that at UConn on the money line is minus 205. So I'm going to parlay that with another pick that's going to come later. But I like them in any parlay that you want to do on the money line. It's a great way to add it. Unless Oklahoma can turn them over and get some fast break points or shoot lights out from three, they are going to be suffocated inside. They are not going to get many second chance opportunities. UConn's going to own the glass. McNeely's going to have a big night. I think you'll see Caravan, who's been heating up, do extremely well. Diarra has been playing well. They've got a lot going for them. This UConn team has struggled at times this year, which is why they're ranked so low, and rightfully so. I'm not saying they should be ranked higher, but they're not going to repeat national champ or three-peat, but they sure as hell aren't going to lose to this Oklahoma team.
Yeah, absolutely. If I say it again, people are going to think that the podcast is like skipping or it's like the recording is broken, but like better head coach, good defensive team against a bad defensive team. Like, I don't know why this is considered such a close matchup. Well, I guess I do know why, because UConn did not have the season they were expecting to have.
And Oklahoma had some big wins this year too. Like, they had some big upset wins.
For sure. UConn lost to like Colorado, my Buffaloes, right? Like one of the worst teams, right? Like I get it, but like not in the tournament, man. Like, no, I'm good. I'm with you on UConn. That's all I have to say about that. Why don't you all talk about the picks you have? This should be my homer picks, which is New Mexico.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I'm taking the Lobos +4 versus Marquette at -110. Head coach Baby Patino, man, they're rolling really, really well right now. Marquette's coming in bad form. Marquette is 5-7 in their last 12 and 3-9 against the spread in that time. The Lobos, they did lose the Mountain West tournament. I kind of think that gives them a little bit of an edge here and a little bit of a pissed off attitude. Prior to that tournament loss, they had won 14 of the last 15. So they're coming in really good form, man. So I just like the better form team to beat the team that's coming in worse form. It's kind of that simple for me. So at -110.
Marquette is 5-11 against the spread with teams that have a winning percentage better than 65%. Kind of tells you what you need to know about Marquette. I think Marquette's a team that I have watched quite a bit of this year, which I cannot say that about many teams. I kind of wanted to sneaky back them in this tournament because I knew they'd be a lower seed. They probably wouldn't have much hype around them, and I thought they were pretty good. And then I saw New Mexico, and I was like, "Ah, shit, that's another team that I like." So I'm actually teasing this one up to New Mexico +10.5 as part of that UConn parlay. I don't see New Mexico getting blown out in this game at all. I actually also have a little side piece bet, New Mexico to just straight up win. That's at +145. I'm only putting a half unit on it, but it wouldn't shock me at all. I'm willing to play that game.
I think that's great, man. I text y'all. I think this is one of the better coaching matchups. We got Baby Patino, as Mike says, against Shaka Khan, going against each other. I know it's Shaka Smart, but I think it's funnier. Obviously, it's Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, Baby Patino coaching matchup. Love it, man. I am going to be down here with the Albuquerque locals, at least 3 or 4 cold pops deep. By the time that starts, taking Friday afternoon off, that's going to be a fun one. That's the only college basketball games I saw in person was 4 New Mexico Lobos games. Fun team, excited to watch them. I don't have a pick. I think it's a tough match. I think that's a tough draw for New Mexico, unfortunately, for the type of season they had. But that's okay. They win. Who knows what they can do. So, all right. I'm going to take you to the second part of my UConn parlay. Give me Kentucky. Kentucky on the money line. Man, they are playing Troy. Troy just ain't it versus Kentucky. 13-5 in the Sun Belt, and they got absolutely schlacked by all 3 major conference teams they played by a minimum of 16 points and all the way up to 25 points. And I know that that's not necessarily predictive, but if you're just telling me how they did against higher competition this year, it ain't great. I like Kentucky to win this pretty easily, and the UConn Kentucky parlay is definitely one of my favorites. It's at -143. It's a little juicy, but I'm probably one of the ones I'm most confident in, if I'm being totally honest. All right, before I get my last, go for it.
I just want to say, I think the line in that is like -10.5. I mentioned those simulators that I was looking at. They had this as it should be more like -16, -18. They have Kentucky winning this pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, might put some on that spread. Oh no, my desk just auto moved mid-show, which is a fun technical difficulty. All right, here we go. Let me give you my last pick. No one else has any picks, right? Before I give my last one.
No good.
All right, I'm going to end it on one that Stefan won't love, which is give me Liberty +6.5 against Oregon. This is a very popular upset pick. I'm not quite going there. Given Dana Altman's coaching ability in the tournament is very impressive. I find it hard to bet against the Ducks to lose, but Liberty has an elite defense and an amazing offense. Like, they can torch you. The problem with Liberty is that they are small and Oregon is huge, right? Like, we have a size mismatch but also Liberty can shoot you straight out of the gym. So give me plus 6.5 because I think Liberty is that good to keep up with Oregon. Oregon, 10 of Oregon's 12 conference wins came against the bottom half of the Big Ten, and some of those are really bad teams. That's not super inspiring to me for Oregon to come in and be a dominant tournament team this year. So I like Liberty to at least put a scare in Oregon. I think plus 6.5 is good with me.
Yeah, I hate that pick. Me and my Justin Herbert jersey behind me and my little baby Ducky hat on. We're here to support the Ducks. Listen, where would Liberty
to lose?
Where would Liberty fall in the Big Ten? They'd be the lower half, right where all those victories have taken place for my Ducks.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I obviously am not betting the other side of this. I really just hope you're wrong because nothing is worse than a day one exit. Like, unless your team is unless you're rooting for Yale, sure, have a fun game, whatever. But if you're Oregon, UConn, whatever, you can't go home on day one.
And I'm sorry, man. I would just like to make it clear, we're not a social or political show, but I hate Liberty, man. I don't want to make this pick. Their fans, all what they believe in and how much of assholes Liberty, the university is. You think I want to make this pick? I'm just here to make money, man. Yeah, I hope we just lost our whole Liberty fan base. They can
listen.
First
they came for the socialists, then they came for the people who hated the University of Liberty.
No one likes people who went to Liberty or who support Liberty. I'm just here to make money. All right. I am pretty sure that is it. I'm out here isolating whole fan bases.
There's 4 Liberty fans out there.
all 4 of them.
Didn't Steph Curry's brother go there?
Did he? Is that
he did.
Is that where he went? Ugh.
Did he?
But I don't even know his name. Poor little guy.
I didn't think I could dislike the Curry family more, and now I do. All right. That is it. We're done shitting on Liberty. We are going to run down the part of the show where we just give you all our picks. So, maybe you fast forward to the end and you made it here. Before we do that, don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Hit all the like and subscribe buttons, comment, talk to us. Love interacting with you all. Also, download the podcast. Go subscribe, all that stuff. Follow us on socials. That's a good time, especially Instagram, TikTok, those places. But mostly the podcast, YouTube. And we will see y'all there. Let's make some money. Let's go ahead and run this down. I got St. Mary's on the money line plus Maryland on the money line. So both teams to win at minus 123. Give me Akron plus 13.5. I will also take UConn plus Kentucky to win, which will get you to a nice minus 143. And then I will take Liberty plus 6.5 against Stefan's Oregon Ducks.
Liberty, where Seth Curry did in fact go to school before transferring to Duke. All right, I am going to take St. Mary's on the money line, parlayed with Baylor plus 8.5. Get that at minus 106. And then I'm going to take UConn on the money line, parlayed with New Mexico plus 10 in a hook. You get that at minus 110.
I'm going to take Arizona at an Akron first half under 79.5. I'm also going to take New Mexico plus 4 at minus 110.
And then I do have a little side piece bet. We're going to do a half unit on New Mexico on the money line, plus 145. I'll also buy you a couple rounds when New Mexico pulls off the big win, Eric.
Oh, man, it's going to be a party in Albuquerque on Friday night if they win that game. All right.
What's that, Mike?
I've got one more because I've had a
list.
It did make the list. I'm taking Lipscomb plus 14.5 versus Iowa State at minus 102.
Awesome. The Lips can't get out of here without the Lipscomb pick. All right. Y'all have a good weekend. Let's go make some money. We will see you in round 2.